Hi everyone, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2017. We are very excited about the coming year, and today I just want to have a little recap on 2016 and then perhaps a little bit of crystal ball gazing into what might happen in the property market this year. So first of all, 2016, what a year. It was an incredible year for us. We really enjoyed it, but there were some tumultuous events in the world which really were incredibly interesting just to observe. For me, it felt like a little bit of a twilight zone at times, where we had Donald Trump coming into power in the US, plus Brexit in the UK, which a lot of people did not think was going to happen. And then locally, we had things like the government restricting the loan-to-value ratio for investment properties, and meaning that anyone buying a second home had to have a 40% deposit. That was a really new thing for the local market. So it really was an amazing year to be alive and to watch these things happen. Now to 2017, I'm going to do a little bit of crystal ball gazing, but the disclaimer to this is that no one knows what the future holds. So although we are absolutely ingrained in the property market, there's absolutely no way to know which way things will go, because the variables in the property market and the global macroeconomics that influence it are far too complex for anyone to know for sure. My personal opinion is that the market is booming and that this won't run forever, but perhaps we do have a little bit longer to go. I think that we had 7 or 8 years of absolutely flat prices, and now of course we've played, to some degree, we've played catch up, whereas Auckland and Christchurch have been booming for a lot longer, or the price has been rising for a lot longer. So I think in Wellington the fundamentals are not as out of whack as perhaps some other parts of the country, and certainly some other cities in the world. And I think the fundamentals of Wellington are still reasonably good. In saying that, when you're talking about markets and you're talking about decisions whether to sell or whether to buy, it's always better, if you can, to try hard to do the opposite of what the crowd is doing. Of course, implicitly, not everybody can do that. It is simply impossible for everyone to do the opposite of everybody else. But ideally, in financial markets, if you can buy when other people are selling and you can sell when other people are buying, you will do better over the longer term. So if you are, my advice to people at the moment, if you are considering selling, is if you're thinking about selling in the next 5 years, then there's no doubt in my mind that it is an absolutely fantastic time to do it now. For me, being in real estate for the last 16 years, it feels like the strongest market that I've seen in that time. Even the peak in 2007 didn't feel quite as buoyant as we are at the current time. So I think it's a great time to sell, even if you don't get the absolute peak of the market. At the end of the day, the only time to know when the absolute peak of the market was is in hindsight, once it's too late. So even if you miss out on the last little bit of gain, it does make a lot of sense not to wait too long and then regret it, because we're actually past that time. But who knows? As I said before, the future is uncertain. No one can tell you for certain, but that, if you wanted my guess, is my best guess. I hope that helps. Thank you very much.